Thank you so much for coming out, everybody, tonight. Welcome to the Massasoit Conference Center. I'm Steve Damish, the managing editor for the Enterprise. I'm honored tonight to bring you the first public mayoral debate between Mayor James Harrington and City Councilor Linda Balzotti. I'd like to give a hearty thanks, before we do that, to Massasoit Community College and President Charlie Wall for helping to make this possible. Massasoit has become the Enterprise's debate partner through the years, and for that we are extremely grateful. I also want to thank both candidates. Both of them have been a pleasure to work with in organizing this and more than helpful in putting this event together. Tonight's forum will be broken into 3 half-hour segments. In the first, I'll ask questions written by Enterprise staff members. In the second, if technology doesn't fail us, several residents will ask questions via videotape, and they'll be shown on that screen on the wall over there. In the final portion, the candidates will be allowed to ask each other questions. In each segment, the candidates have 90 seconds to respond, and we have a nice handy clock down here which goes from green to yellow to red, and when it shows yellow, there are 30 seconds left in the response time. And finally, after that, we have closing statements of 2 minutes apiece. We ask the audience, as we always do, to the best of your ability, not to interrupt either candidate or cut into their time through excessive applause. Excessive. Applause is okay. No excessive applause or reaction. And for doing that, we thank you in advance. We did coin tosses to start the event in the back room. And we'll start the first segment. Let me get my stopwatch going here. First question of the night will be posed to Mayor Harrington based on a coin toss. And here is the question. Just this afternoon, Mr. Mayor, we learned of a federal housing and urban development report that raises questions in how $7 million of neighborhood stabilization money is being managed. The report cites poor oversight by the city organization overseeing the money, Building a Better Brockton, poor staffing by that group, and potential conflicts of interest by board members. The report also states that the additional money for this neighborhood redevelopment program could be jeopardized. When did the city learn about this, and what is being done to correct the issues raised in this report? Mr. Harrington.
Well, this was an audit that went on for some months, and during the audit process, some of these issues were talked about. Prior to this report coming out or any discussion of the results of the report, the Build a Better Brockton had already brought in an outside CPA auditor, because we realized when we put that organization together, we put it together to manage $1.5 million, and we knew that we didn't have the capacity to manage the $8 or $9 million that we are managing. So that we worked with HUD. We had our, if you went a little further in your investigation and looked on their website, and with the report is also the statement from the corporation of all the things that they had already put in place that answered every one of the single question that was raised with the with HUD. The only question that wasn't answered in our response, or the BBB's Build a Better Brockton response, was that there was potential. They didn't say there was any conflict of interest. They said there was some potential conflict of interest. Those issues are being worked with HUD and the legal office. And the basis of those questions about potential conflict of interest are around the fact that some of the board members who are volunteers are also volunteers on some nonprofit corporations. And so the potential conflict of interest is being looked at. If in fact somebody's found by them, say that HUD's comfortable that they wouldn't be in a conflict of interest, then the person would have to decide whether to get off the Build a Better Brockton board or get off of the other nonprofit that they're in. So I think all of those issues have been addressed, and I think HUD, quite frankly, has told us that they think we have a better than even chance of getting the additional $21 million that we asked for.
Thank you, Mayor Harrington. Councilor Balzotti, 1 minute rebuttal.
Once again, this shows that the formation of this group lacks in accountability It's controlled by a group of non-city residents who are overseeing millions of dollars of federal funding with no accountability, no transparency, and little or no input from community members. It also raises concerns because Mr. Walsh was before us Monday night. Never did he express that the financial officer was being hired as a result of this report. Never did he express to us that there were any problems with the agency or any investigations taking place. And when he came to the council Monday night, he was supposed to be coming in a good faith effort to begin to inform us and provide accountability for that group with the city council, and he failed to do so.
Ms. Mayor?
Yeah, let me just say this. What a difference an election makes or a year makes. You sat in my office, you went over this plan with me, with other city councilors, and you totally agreed that this was the right thing to do. But now, because it's an election, you have no idea, or it's the worst thing in the world to do. The other part that's bothersome is that you don't have any plan to do anything any different.
Mr. Mayor, that's completely untrue. As a matter of fact, after we had that initial meeting in your office, I called you on the phone and told you that I had concerns about this, and I actually also voted against the budget because I had concerns about what the formation of this group was going to be. And in fact, I do have an idea, Mr. Mayor, of what to do, and I think we should return city planning to City Hall, and we should hire an urban planner who will be devoted to working with the community and setting up a plan and providing accountability for the money that's being spent.
Council, I don't disagree with any of that, but we didn't do this because we wanted to eliminate the planning department. We did it because we had very difficult choices to make around the budget. That's why we did that. That's why you agreed, and other councils agreed to support me in this step.
I didn't agree, Mr. Mayor. I voted against the
Well,
budget.
Counselor,
And there's
maybe-
one thing to make difficult decisions is another thing to make the best decisions.
That's
That
right,
wasn't the
Counselor.
best decision.
Well, Council, it's one thing to be able to make a decision.
Well, I've made many decisions, Mr. Mayor, and taken many votes.
All right. Thank you for that, both of you.